FIFA World Cup. The FIFA World Cup is the crown jewel, the most important of all trophies. It's worth around $20 million and made of 18-karat gold with a malachite base. It weighs 6.1 kilograms and stands just under 37 centimeters tall. It's the most expensive trophy in all of football, but you can't buy it. Even billionaires can't touch it unless they've won it or run a country. It was designed by Italian artist Silvio Gazzaniga in 1974 after Brazil kept the old Jules Rimet trophy. Since then, it's been lifted by legends like Maradona, Zidane, Ronaldo, and recently Messi. The tournament runs every 4 years, and the whole planet basically stops to watch. Brazil has won it 5 times, more than anyone else. Argentina are the current holders, thanks to Messi finally completing football in Qatar 2022. You're only allowed to touch it if you're a champion or a head of state. Everyone else, keep your fingerprints to yourself. FIFA Club World Cup. This one's like the World Cup for clubs. Every year, it gathers the winners from each continent to battle it out. But let's be honest, Europe usually bullies everyone. Real Madrid has won it 5 times. The current champs, Madrid didn't even sweat. It started in 2000 and has changed formats more times than Chelsea changes managers. With the current format having 32 teams, the trophy itself is gold-plated with a modern twist, sleek, shiny, and very Instagram-worthy. But no one's posting about it unless you're the winner. There's currently about $100 million in prize money, which sounds good until you realize the Champions League pays way more. Still, it's a global title, and clubs like Al Ahly and Flamengo treat it like life and death. For Real Madrid, it's just another Tuesday. UEFA European Championship, Euro. This is the one that makes European countries cry every 4 years. It started in 1960 and is named after Henri Delaunay, UEFA's first General Secretary. The trophy is made of sterling silver, weighs 8 kilograms, and stands 60 centimeters tall. Not bad for something that gives fans ulcers. Germany and Spain have won it 3 times each. Italy are the current holders after beating England in their own backyard in 2021. Yes, it was still called Euro 2020 because, well, COVID. Wembley was quiet after that penalty shootout. England still haven't won it. But they invented the game, right? Doesn't matter. The trophy's been lifted by Franz Beckenbauer, Michel Platini, Ruud Gullit, Jurgen Klinsmann, Didier Deschamps, Iker Casillas, Cristiano Ronaldo, and most recently, Italy's Giorgio Chiellini. It's not as hyped as the World Cup, but the drama is just as chaotic. UEFA Nations League. The Nations League was UEFA's way of replacing boring friendlies with actual stakes. Launched in 2018, it looks like a trophy Apple would design. Silver, spiral, and very tech-savvy. If you squint, it almost looks like a Bluetooth speaker. Spain won it last in 2023. Before that, France and Portugal had their turns. It's not legendary yet, but at least players care enough to celebrate it, except maybe the English, though they're still not sure what this thing really is. It's not the World Cup, it's not the Euros, but it still counts. And it gives countries like Croatia and the Netherlands something to aim for, even if the fans just call it the mini tournament with a cool trophy. Africa Cup of Nations, AFCON. AFCON is football chaos, passion, and heartbreak packed into one. The trophy itself costs around $150,000, but the pride that comes with it, can't put a number on that. Ivory Coast are the current kings after winning it in 2024. Egypt has lifted it more than anyone, 7 times. The tournament brings noise, drums, heartbreak, and sometimes games with no working VAR. But when that final whistle blows, expect fireworks and 2 million fans on the streets. It may not have the global spotlight like the Euros or Copa America, but AFCON doesn't need it. 1 red card, 1 last-minute header, and the whole continent goes wild. That's the magic. AFC Champions League trophy. This one's Asia's biggest prize in club football. The trophy weighs around 15 kilograms and mixes gold and silver in a bold, circular twist. It's heavy, classy, and looks like something you'd find in a billionaire's hallway. Saudi club Al Hilal has won it more than anyone, and with the recent money flying around Asian football, the competition has only gotten bigger. Clubs from Japan, South Korea, and now even Uzbekistan are stepping up. Thanks to the oil money, players from Europe are heading east to chase this trophy. It's no longer just a local affair, it's Asia making a global football statement. The design alone says, we mean business. UEFA Champions League. The Champions League is football's elite stage. Introduced in 1955 as the European Cup, the trophy is now worth $15,000. But its legacy, you can't buy it. It's made of sterling silver and stands at 73.5 centimeters tall. They call it Big Ears because of the iconic handles. Real Madrid has made it their property, winning it 15 times. At this point, UEFA should just engrave their name automatically. Clubs like PSG have won it once in their lifetime, while Arsenal is nowhere to be found near the trophy. Players dream of this one. If you're a footballer and don't want this trophy, check your pulse. Everyone wants a Champions League night under the lights, anthem blaring, lifting big ears into the sky. UEFA Europa League. It's the second-tier European trophy, but don't call it small. The Europa League is still huge, and the trophy is worth $4.5 million. Made of solid silver with a yellow base, it's a unique shape with no handles. So you gotta grip it right. Tottenham are the current holders, but Sevilla basically live in this competition. They've won it 7 times and probably have one in every room. It's their version of a breakfast mug. It was introduced in 1971 and gives clubs outside the top 4 a shot at Europe. It's not the Champions League, but it's still serious business, especially when you realize it comes with a ticket to the big dance next season. UEFA Europa Conference League. UEFA's third wheel trophy rolled out in 2021. It's for clubs that aren't quite Europa League level. Think of it as the entry-level European competition with a flashy spiral trophy and solid vibes. Roma were the first to win it, and Mourinho shed real tears. Chelsea just won it to complete their European trophy cabinet. Smaller clubs get to taste glory, and fans love the European trips, even if it means flying to places you can't pronounce. Some call it the Farmers' League final, but when your club wins it, you don't care. You're lifting silverware, parading through town, and posting champions in all caps. That's football. UEFA Super Cup, 1 match, 1 trophy. Champions League winner versus Europa League winner. The Super Cup is the annual flex match before the season kicks off. The trophy is silver with a gold base and weighs 12.2 kilograms, not too big, not too small. It may not be the most historic trophy, but it's shiny, televised, and comes with medals. You take it if you win, you forget it if you lose. It's a vibe more than a mission, but players still pose with it like it's the World Cup, because lifting anything in front of fans never gets old. Premier League Trophy. The Premier League Trophy is iconic. Made of sterling silver with a malachite base and African gemstone, it weighs around 25 kilograms when the crown's on. That crown, only the winners get it. It was introduced in 1992 when the Premier League was formed. Since then, it's been lifted by legends like Keane, Henry, Drogba, and recently Haaland and his robot army. Manchester City has won 4 in a row, but United still lead with 13. It costs about $10,000, but it means everything. Some fans would trade their house just to see it lifted at their ground. And every May, someone cries because of this trophy, especially clubs that reach 90 points a season and still don't win it. FA Cup. This one's older than your granddad. First held in 1871, the FA Cup is the oldest domestic cup in the world. It's made of sterling silver, costs over $1 million, and weighs 6.3 kilograms. Crystal Palace are the current holders. Arsenal owns it historically with 14 wins. The trophy itself is iconic, with detailed handles and the classic British design. It's been redesigned a few times, but the vibe stays the same. It's where small clubs dream big. Giant killings, pitch invasions, last-minute winners. I mean, it's chaos in a cup. And yes, it's been around since Queen Victoria. That's how long this trophy has been part of football. Carabao Cup, EFL Cup. This is England's other domestic cup. It started in 1960 and has gone through many names. Right now, it's sponsored by an energy drink. This is the one where clubs send out their academy kids and hope for the best until the semi-finals, when suddenly the big guns show up. Liverpool have made it their playground with 9 wins. The current holders, Newcastle, broke the club record to win their major silverware in years. It's the least glamorous of England's major trophies, but it's still a trophy, and when you're lifting it under the Wembley lights, no one's complaining. A Community Shield. This is the match where everyone says it doesn't count until their team wins. It kicks off the season with the Premier League champion facing the FA Cup winner. Or, if one team won both, the league runners-up get dragged in. Most people seem not to count this trophy in their book, but either way, winning it is better than not playing at all. At least, it's the only match where players lift silverware before they've even kicked a ball in the league. La Liga Trophy. In Spain, lifting this means total domination over 38 games. The La Liga trophy has been around since 1929. It's silver, heavy, and shaped like something you'd put in a royal banquet. Real Madrid have won it more than anyone, and Barcelona is playing catch-up for years. That's why the biggest matchup in La Liga is usually these two giants. The El Clasico is usually the most watched rival derby in the world. Copa del Rey. This one's for the underdogs. Unless Barcelona or Madrid decide they're bored, the Copa del Rey, or the King's Cup, started back in 1903. The trophy is made of silver, and every year it looks like it was polished by a royal butler. Barcelona are the kings of this cup. holding the record for most wins. They still won it this season after defeating Real Madrid. Supercopa de España. This used to be a simple two-team deal. Now, it's a four-team mini-tournament with Saudi oil money, fireworks, and a lot of jet lag. The Supercopa de España feels more like a business trip than a football match these days. Barcelona won the latest one, because of course they did. They could win trophies in their sleep at this point. It's not the most historic trophy, but it's televised, flashy, and rich, so it gets taken seriously, at least until someone gets sent off for kicking a water bottle. Ligue 1 trophy. The French top flight has a trophy that looks like it came out of a science fiction movie. Since 2007, they've been handing out the hexagol, that is, a shiny, futuristic circle that could double as a spaceship part. PSG are the current holders, which isn't shocking thanks to their incredible treble-winning season. Bundesliga Meister. This one looks like a massive silver dinner plate. Officially, it's the Meister. Fans just call it the salad plate. It was created in 1964 and weighs 11 kilograms of silver and gemstones, tourmalines to be exact. Bayern Munich wins it almost every year, like clockwork. Bayer Leverkusen to have cemented their name as champions undefeated in 2024 after breaking their trophy drought and finally got their hands on it. This trophy costs over $57,000, but the real value is the bragging rights, especially when you've spent a decade watching Bayern hog it like it's a family property. DFB-Pokal. Germany's cup competition doesn't mess around. Introduced in 1935, the DFB-Pokal is gold-plated and full of gemstones. We're talking 12 tourmalines, 18 nephrites, 12 rock crystals, basically a mini treasure chest. Bayern Munich usually dominated, but recently other clubs have come up to win this. It's knockout football at its finest. The trophy sparkles, the underdogs dream, and someone always ends up with confetti in their beer. Serie A Trophy, Scudetto. The Italians don't do basic. The Serie A Trophy, also called the Scudetto, is pure class. Crafted by Ettore Calvelli, it's got gold rings, a blue sodalite base, and weighs 8 kilograms, costs around $66,000. It looks like royalty. Inter Milan are the current holders. Juventus still leads the all-time count with 36 titles, but their grip has loosened. Lifting this in front of the curva with flares going off and chants echoing, that's Italian football in its purest form. Eredivisie Trophy. Over in the Netherlands, the top-flight champions don't get a fancy cup. They get a silver plate. The Eredivisie Trophy is simple, flat, and engraved with the club's name. It's basically a giant medal. Ajax have the most titles, but this season belongs to PSV Eindhoven, and they celebrated the Dutch way, with beer showers, flares, and possibly a bike or two. It's small, sure, but in the Netherlands, lifting that plate means everything. Scottish Premiership Trophy. Scotland's league is one of football's oldest, starting in 1890. The trophy is a tall, silver cone that looks like it belongs in a museum gift shop. But don't let the look fool you, the emotions are real. Rangers and Celtic currently have the same number of wins, with Celtic winning it this season to catch up with Rangers. It might not have global flash, but in Scotland it splits cities, families and pubs in half. It's a trophy with baggage and a drama. Liga Portugal Trophy, Primeira Liga. Portugal's top division has a tall, shiny trophy with a gold base. It looks like something you'd see in a Bond villain's trophy cabinet. Benfica are the all-time leaders, but this season it went to Sporting CP. The green and white won it again, despite losing Ruben Amorim, who brought them to the spotlight to Man United. Copa Libertadores. This is South America's holy grail. The Copa Libertadores started in 1960 and turned football into a religion. Stadiums shake, flares fly. Fights sometimes break out before kickoff. The trophy itself is 98 centimeters of sterling silver and bronze, worth $8.5 million and carried like it's made of glass. Botafogo are the current champions after winning their first in history, but Independiente still lead with 7 wins. Winning this isn't just football, it's survival of the craziest. If you love football, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're just getting started,